Hey guys, I'm here. We're about to dive into the premiere of season 3 of Batwoman. You know, I know we left off last season with me not completely certain about whether or not I was going to continue the show or not. Honestly, I mean, I was going to still watch it on my own, but as far as a reaction series or anything like that, wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it. But with all the stuff we've been hearing about the season, all the classic Batman villains that are going to be making an appearance, Poison Ivy, Killer Croc, Mad Hatter, and more, every new announcement definitely made me raise an eyebrow. So curiosity has definitely gotten the better of me, and we're going to be checking out the season. For now, I won't make any solid promises that we will continue it all the way through. It is starting to become a little bit of a struggle to keep up with everything. So if it doesn't continue to hold my interests, I might have to let it go. Same with Legends and all that. So we'll just kind of have to see how things go, play it by ear. If it loses me, it loses me, and I'll just let it fly off into the wind. But one way you can help avoid that, of course, is if you want to see the full-length reaction to this episode, it's going to be on Patreon, or if you become a member here on the channel, gets you access to that as well. It's just one of those ways you can help me work towards getting an editor to help pick up some of the slack over here on my end to help keep up with some of this content so we don't have to cut away shows or anything like that, and even maybe open the floor to adding more to the channel down the line, because I loved adding something just kind of outside of our wheelhouse, out of nowhere, just on a whim, like Squid Game. And I had a lot of fun with that. It was very refreshing, and I'm enjoying like watching Haunted of Hill House right now. So it's stuff like that that we could do and open the door for. And just if the Patreon, that side of thing isn't something you guys can do, just like, comment, subscribe, share these videos, because that's just one major way you can help the videos themselves. But anyway, guys, that all down and out of the way, let's see what we got for the premiere of this new season. Here we go. This new Hatter's got some knife skills. Oh, 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 oh! That makes sense. I know they had no ties. Ooh. I like the new glyph. I like how they tied it into Alice in this. I mean, Mad Hatter and Alice have no connection to the comics, just they're similar. Hey, Luke's in the field. Just their similar choice of aesthetics.
No sidekick actually likes being referred to as a sidekick.
Copy that. My number 2 dude.
Nope, not that either.
But I like that this is like a 2.0, and Alice is kind of this icon that is like gravitated and elevated her status throughout Gotham and her notoriety, or infamy rather. So for her to have kind of a fan,
I promise you, I'm not giving up on you this time.
makes some sense in this world a little bit. I like that. And just on top of that, is that a postcard from her dad? But yep. But isn't he in prison? I'm confused. Anyway,
Just please don't say Black Batman.
I like that.
Seriously? Black Batman?
Coming from the girl who inherited her code name.
You know what? I got one. The Dork Knight.
Do it. Dork Knight. I love it. This new guy, he had to have recognized the hat. And I find it a little odd that the person that sold it never noticed the electronics within it. Never flipped it over, never even tried it on yourself, nothing.
I guess it's just me, or has this quadrupled since Cersei took it?
Oh. Okay, so the suit isn't without its bugs. Ooh.
So what? We're
sisters now.
I graduate med school tomorrow, and Dad's one wish was for me to check on you and keep you from going off the deep end, so...
None of this matters. Because Daddy's gonna find a way to get me out of here.
What makes you believe that?
Oh, he didn't tell you. We've been, writing. So, I know you came to make sure that I was miserable, but I'm sorry to inform you. I'm not.
Then this is me punching in and promptly punching out.
One quick question while I have you. It's about your little pal, Ryan.
4 down. How many still out there?
A lot.
Apparently, she and my dad are pen pals now.
That's uncomfortable.
I've barely even heard from him since he was put away. Valedictorian, top of my class, but as long as Alice knows that you're thinking of her...
Jeez.
I know your family can't be there tomorrow, but this family can, and we won't miss it.
Alice told me to ask you about your birth mom.
Huh?
She was like, Ryan will know what I mean. And then she smiled like a total creep.
Since when does Alice ever make sense?
Keeping a secret.
Society shoved her back into the sewers. At the tender
Is
age
he
of 13,
blogging?
she was lost, forgotten, held captive, tortured. Who wouldn't break? Locking her away in Arkham is just victimizing her all over again.
Free Alice? That woman is a full-blown lunatic.
Alice is a survivor. Pay her some respect.
Alice is just another victim of a flawed bureaucratic system. She deserves her day in court. Dude, why did he just say that? No idea.
This Mad Hatter's, well, this universe's Mad Hatter hat works without the cards.
Let go of me.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Why can't I move?
Kill him.
Dude, what are you doing? No, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh! What the hell is this? What you make me do? You psycho! You're a freaking psycho!
Mad as the Hatter.
Not a bad start. Oh, it's Renee Montoya.
Tell me what you're planning with your Mad Hatter superfan.
I told you, I don't know him. I just know what I would do.
Which is? So I take it you and Kate are not happening?
Oh no, they're good. They're friends, but it's too complicated for anything more right now.
Thank you, Mary.
Yes.
You want to tell me what happened at Arkham?
She said my biological mother was actually still alive, and that she covered it all up with a fake name so I'd never find her.
Want me to look into it? On the DL?
Thank you.
You know, Julie's still brainwashed in Germany.
And I am not putting the words rogues or toys onto my budget.
What about the words mass casualty and preventable in the resignation letter? Mary, I love the city in my bones, and I need you to hear me before this becomes Jim Gordon's Gotham all over again.
$2 million to cover up her pregnancy with me. Why?
I have no idea, but your mom's still alive, Ryan.
My dad?
Nothing. Just her. Here. If you want to know her name.
2-drink limit?
What are we talking about?
Let's find our seats.
Aww.
Dr. Hamilton, you are the spitting image of your mother.
Today, we take the Hippocratic Oath, but shouldn't it be called the Hypocrite Oath? I mean, doctors, are supposed to uphold the highest ethical medical standards, right?
Did she change her speech? This is not her speech.
Don't even get me started on mental health care.
If you have earbuds, put them on. I'm texting you a disruptive frequency to block his mind control.
Oh, shit.
Everybody shut up and take your seats until I instruct you otherwise. Remove this man's organs one at a time until he dies.
You need help.
You sound like all my doctors. We need to get him to reverse it before Mary kills that guy.
How? Ask nicely.
There is one person to listen to.
No.
Ryan, Mary's about to de-organ the chair from university.
Your father is incarcerated himself. No one is coming to rescue you. Everyone, stay calm.
Daddy?
Aw.
What? No. Alice, we're going. Let's go.
Follow me. I need you to come with me.
Oh, satellites. I was like, what is it? What are the stars gonna do?
Get ready to rock.
What are you doing? Put your phones away. Stop!
Alice is like, no, I gotta stay. Oh, running back to her cell.
This is an ad from a magazine, Alice. This is a page from the Arkham directory, a napkin from the cafeteria.
Oh, wow.
Coloring book page.
Oh,
Dad is not
that was
writing to
all
you.
in her head.
You lost Ocean, your dad, Kate. Now you're back in here. It's too much.
He's coming. Because he promised me he's coming.
Garbage, Alice! If you help us, you can run. And I won't stop you.
I don't know if that was my feed again or if that was actually the cut.
I'm sure that was a lot. You want to talk about it?
Well, what's the news article's gonna say?
Alice.
Batwoman breaks Alice out of Arkham.
He's got no chance if you remove anything else. We shock his heart. He goes into cardiac arrest and dies just like the Mad Hatter guy wanted. It'll break his mind control. And then what? Then we pray like hell you can bring Dr. Hall back to life.
I like his getup though. He's not a bad Mad Hatter.
Tie them around your throat.
Strangle yourself to death gag. Tell all these people to stop.
Alice, they have too much power. Think about it. All they have to do is sign a piece of paper and surprise, you're bankrupt. Surprise, you're addicted to medication. Surprise, you're labeled crazy.
If it wasn't for you, guys like me wouldn't have heroes.
Stop killing yourselves. There. Did that earn me a hug?
So you couldn't see Jammers? Or did it nice? Don't ever meet your heroes.
What can you do, right?
You didn't think I was actually gonna let you go.
You two-faced bitch.
Hmm.
I saved all those people.
It's the second time Ryan's
No,
went
for you.
did that to Alice.
Wait a minute.
He said it that time.
Wingman.
Batwing.
Wing? Batwing?
I take that into consideration.
Small word of a security breach. Somebody's been fishing for very specific data on you, ma'am.
Looks like Sophie tripped some wires.
Dad, how am I hearing your voice right now?
Because I'm your dad, and I always know when you need me.
He like programmed himself as his dad, his Jarvis. Oh, Kate sent her a little doctor overcoat.
Never seen you before. You a cop?
Fortunately for you, no.
Where'd you get this list?
From me. In exchange for my freedom.
Ooh. Ooh.
She's got the mind of a psychopath, so together you two are gonna find and stop every freak who gets his hands on one of these weapons until each of the items on that list are found and accounted for.
Hard pass.
It's just as easy for me to shut down your illegal vigilante operation, Ryan Wilder.
Oh, whoa. Oh, wait. Lol. Ah.
It's so much more fun on my bad side.
So do we have a deal or what?
Oh yes,
I mean, you backstab to get backstabbed to get backstabbed to get backstabbed to get backstabbed. I mean, I don't know what you expect at this point. Nobody in this circle is held up to their words at all. At any point.
Sounds like I don't have a choice.
Hey guys, so the audio for the wrap up after this episode apparently did not pick up. So I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts on the episode again, just a couple days later. And after having just got through editing all the reaction highlight bits of it. So I've just went through the episode again. So a couple things that I wanted to at least kind of touch upon in this. I found this episode quite interesting. I like the Mad Hatter. I like the personality, the charisma that he kind of brought to the role. Very much like a Jervis Tetch kind of character. Very in line with like the version that I kind of remember from Batman the Animated Series. I like what he did. I like how they played it in. I like how they actually, unlike the comics, adapted this version, this 2.0, not Jervis Tetch. I can't even remember his actual name in this one, the new Mad Hatter, but actually tied him into this universe that has been so exposed to Alice and the Wonderland gang that he's become a fan of Alice and her work, especially feeling like this repression, this oppression for his mental illness, his struggles, his all that whatnot, and he relates her to this iconography of like fighting against the system or against crazy things and whatever, and like looks up to her kind of in a lot of ways how like people kind of look up to serial killers in general and find a lot of interest in them, and like he found relatability through Alice. So it was pretty interesting to see how they tied that in, and it inspired and motivated him to go down this Mad Hatter path. Now, did he actually know he was getting the Mad Hatter's hat when he got it? Don't know. Again, like I mentioned in the review, how did the people selling it not notice the electronics in it? I don't know. It's nice seeing Renee Montoya again, played by the same actress who played her in Gotham. And there's this little line in there that I thought was kind of interesting. Now, as far as we know, these are very distinct Gothams. But she's like, there was that line when she was talking to the mayor or AD. I can't remember who she was exactly. He's like, you know, we need to take care of this, or you might be writing all that stuff on your resignation letter. We got to get this stuff reined back in before this becomes Jim Gordon's Gotham. I was like, I thought that was a nice little detail. But then again, Jim Gordon's Gotham is, even across various mediums, is hand in hand with Batman's Gotham. Like, Jim Gordon was in charge of the GCPD throughout all these periods where the rogues gallery of Batman were just at large at all times. It was almost always chaos. So it's just like signaling that time frame. But I thought it was a little meta thing to bring up considering the actress's previous role on the old show. But I thought the episode kind of played out pretty well. We got this mystery of Ryan's parentage coming in. And I've heard and read a couple of things, like the specific character that is being brought in to be her mother that we saw coming off the helicopter has ties to Bruce Wayne. And I'm wondering if the reason we haven't found any information on the father, what if Ryan ends up being like the result of this affair between Bruce Wayne and this character that her mother is? Because I was reading that this character has been in the comics here recently, and that her and Bruce Wayne do have a history in the comics of fanoodling. So if this would be one way to bring Ryan closer to the Bat family, and I don't know if people are going to like that, because personally I think the people that are really liking Ryan the most and gravitating towards her the most like that she is not she is an outsider. She is from this outside world. She is not just nepotized into this whole thing by any stretch of the imagination. But then that would bring her right back into just inheriting this mantle and this position and all this stuff if they ended up going that route. She still obviously has her background, has the way she was raised on the streets and the system and all that stuff. That all's still going to be there, but it would kind of give her this kind of like entitlement to the bat mantle that would come with her blood. And I don't know how people would react to that if they go that route. We don't know. We don't know if they're going to go that route, but who knows? But I like the approach they had in this. Again, Ryan, like, twisting words and going back on her word and giving Alice every reason to betray her. Like, I don't understand why she even is surprised that people are going to know her secret, that Alice is going to tell people things. Like, this is the second time in a short span of time, if we're looking at in-world time progression, that she has just made a promise and a deal with Alice and just backtracked on it. Alice could have easily gotten her killed and gotten all of them killed if she gave Black Mask and Cersei their identities when she first got caught, when she got left behind and betrayed by Ryan the first time. And now she just did it again. It's just like, I don't know. Like, we had this acknowledgement between Ryan and Alice before where they had that conversation back at the docks in that warehouse whenever she kind of not necessarily absolved Alice of blame for what happened to her mother, but understands that Alice was a victim. And then every moment after that, she's just backtracked on that completely. Even down to their little conversation on, I can't remember which happened when, but when they were on Sophia's Island, when they were both locked up together, they also had this connection that, again, got ignored later. So I don't know. It's just like Ryan, like, at every turn, even when Alice is trying to do the right thing, it's not going to absolve her of the terrible things that she has done. But we know for a fact, Ryan knows that a lot of what happened to her and a lot of the things that she had done were while she was still under Sophia's and Enigma's mind control. Not to mention what happened to her when she was trapped in that house. Not to mention what happened when she went to Sophia and was brainwashed and turned into the monster of Alice, where all of her positive emotions were removed by Enigma, causing her to become this killer, this monster. And now she's trying to figure out who she is now that she's broken that. Sure, she still does things that are out of left field, like when she stabbed Mad Hatter. She didn't kill him. She made sure to say that. But she hasn't actually just, like, offed a bunch of people that didn't at least deserve it at this point. Like, the only people I think she's killed since she's had her mind unlocked has just been Black Mask's goons, from what I can recall. So, like, it's... I don't know. It's like this juggling of ideas and themes that I'm not wholly latching onto, and I fully put blame on Ryan for any time that she's going to betray her from this point onward. But we're going to get this kind of buddy cop relationship from him, where we got good cop, bad cop, as they are teaming up to take on the villains here. We kind of got a little bit of a Red Alice vibe, where she kind of becomes more of the anti-hero, which we've seen that transition coming after the whole Sophia arc. Even though I don't like that they used mind control and hypnotism to explain her psychosis, while it already made sense and was very deepened by what her experiences in the home with Mouse and his father and all that, how they were raised and brainwashed and trapped and tortured and forced to cut people and carve people up as a kid. Like, I like the psychological aspects of that. And then when they added the hypnotism into it, I thought it weakened it a little bit. And it just gave Alice an excuse to be absolved of some of those things, even though Ryan still doesn't see it that way. Even though she has said as such. Anyway, it's just one of those inconsistent things that happened during season 2, that between Ryan's writing and what they were trying to do with the story, that didn't work out. But we got to roll with it because it's in the past. We got to move past it. But Ryan, again, made the same mistake here. So, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what they do with the other villains, because we know there's a lot of them coming down the pipeline because of the stuff from Batman's Vault that got into the wild. Now, I don't know if the Killer Croc we're supposed to see this season is actually the original Killer Croc or somebody else somehow gets his mutation. But we saw a little bit of a tease of it at DC Fandom, which they kind of implied that this is a new Croc and not the Killer Croc. However, they have already confirmed going into this season that the Poison Ivy and the Mr. Freeze are in this season. So I'm curious to see how they execute on those. I do think that from what we've seen of Killer Croc from the images that they've released, I think he looks pretty good. I think he looks way better than the Suicide Squad version of him, at least. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. Hopefully it's entertaining, but I like this first episode. I thought it was a pretty decent premiere. Right now, I still don't know exactly when these releases are going to come or how we're going to keep up with it, because right now the middle of the week when this actually airs is kind of tight. I think it'll be a little bit easier once Titans ends next week to keep up with these with a rhythm. But we'll just have to play it by ear for now. So yeah, what'd you guys think? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. If you want to see the full-length reaction, remember that's over on Patreon, or if you become a member here on the channel. Speaking of, I want to shout out our channel legends, Mandy, Sharon, Ryan, Karen, Jason, Coleman, Philly Vane, Yuri Korskov, Margaret Grace, Peeling Zem, and Mary Bradley. If you want to join the conversation in our Discord, links to that and all my socials are down below. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.